I've been thinking in threes, in terms of separate but connected, in terms of unity behind multiplicity. I think it started when I painted these three figures for this painting I made, where I thought about what they could represent, these figures, individually but also together. I thought of the term body, mind, and soul, and other ways humans have decided to split our beingness into threes: conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, emotional, rational, and wise states of mind, the waking, the dreaming, and deep sleep, etc., etc. I then painted a diptych, where two figures partook in the same scene but on two sides of each their own canvas. On top of that, I read Siddhartha and became fascinated with Indian terms and concepts I'd never heard of before, such as Atman, Brahman, Maya, and Satyam, and Samsara, and the idea that the book presented, that by surrendering to the unity everywhere of everything, one can find inner peace, and that duality does not exist. For what do good and bad, high and low, refer to if not a third point that shares both? Thus I've been thinking in threes, multiplicity over duality. And so this has culminated in me painting a triptych representing mind, body, and soul. The actual visuals are not lifted from Buddhism or anything I've learned really from the book. They're just doodles I drew in my sketchbook that I decided to paint a little bit bigger. I'm planning what colors I will want to use. The body, I think, will be pink. The heart in the corner will be red, of course. Then for the mind, I drew almost this plant-like shape. So I think I will stick with that in making it green, with a yellow core perhaps. For the soul, you have this sort of seed shape from which something is sprouting. Again, a sort of plant-like shape. So I suppose it could be also a sort of green, maybe a more yellow one. What am I missing? I have green and red, I have yellow and purple. I have orange, but no blue. Maybe these can be blue. Maybe the background of this one could be pink. And this one, blue. And then this one, green. For both panels that are more abstract, I made them yellow, glowing, sort of plant-like shapes. Maybe, seeing as they're meant to be three different things, this is a bit repetitive, but also at the same time, they're on either side of the body, sort of framing them, and adding some element of cohesion to the whole piece. And connecting the images, I have this red line going through all of them at the bottom, and I don't know why I did that. I suppose as a way of grounding them in a shared reality I'm insinuating, and doing so with a red color lifted from the body. I guess I'm also rooting these concepts to the human form and experience. It's almost like a vein, and it's interesting because this red form overlaps what's going on in the mind and the soul, but is in the background of the body panel, behind the body's legs, which I guess hints at it belonging to the body panel and then stretching into the mind and soul, claiming their spaces, claiming their belongingness to the central body. This is me just making stuff up on the spot. I didn't plan this out, really. So here are the colors. And here they are. They are complete. I wanted to just record a very casual little conclusion to this video, taking you through my thoughts. I think the mind is my favorite because I really like the delicate shape in here, the very slight changes in nuance. It gives the feeling of tranquility and peace of mind. And this shape, if you couldn't guess, is like the mind, the brain. And then these two red lines are the eyes looking down, and then this is the nose. It kind of goes into this stem. You could kind of interpret it as a plant with a stem and a flower and leaves. Or you could interpret it as the brain and the stem of the brain, and these as kind of like tears or something from the eyes. I like it very much. And the colors as well in general I feel like are very cohesive. The body turned out more red than pink, but I don't mind that at all. Then it matches the heart a bit more. It's not a very, you know, realistic depiction of a body, and the color and the kind of wobbliness of it I really enjoy and is reminding me a lot of Matisse. I'm a bit upset about this like collar detail I added last minute, but it's fine. I also only kind of just realized once I had finished it that the way it ends up here kind of hints at there not being a head at all attached to this body, which at first I want it to be ambiguous, like is it just cut off and like not in frame, or does it not exist? But I like that it looks like it doesn't exist because the panel of the mind has the head. So then it makes it more explicit that this is the mind of this body. And then lastly, the soul, which I think maybe is my least favorite just because, I don't know, I don't feel like the colors go very cohesively together, but maybe that's just me. And maybe it makes sense to have an eclectic sort of depiction of the soul, which according to me feels the most intangible of all these concepts. These blue shapes is a shape inspired by the F rune, or Fehu rune. The rune is a little bit different, but it's very much like this. And I just searched up what the rune symbolizes, and apparently it symbolizes wealth and flow of abundance. I think it's mainly connected to financial wealth, but in this context, being associated with a soul and this sort of beaming, glowing light, I guess you could interpret it as spiritual wealth and spiritual abundance. And there we go. I think they're cute and I'm happy I made them. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end and watching this, and thank you for sharing your time with me. This was all. Bye bye.